What's going on, y'all? It's me, Devon. You knew that. You're listening already. You clicked on the thing. Today, we're actually in the Spotify studio. Shout out to Spotify for having us. And instead of having a guest, we've decided to do some special lyric submissions. It's just fan stuff. That's it. No guests, just me and you, baby. Hello. It's nice to see you. And also, remember, if you like, you can always submit lyrics by emailing myfavouritelyricspod@gmail.com. You can DM us on Instagram at myfavouritelyricspod, or you can give us a call, 332-203-6429. Without much further ado, let's get into it. Let's get into a little portion that's just emails that we got. These are all email submissions. And again, we're at myfavouritelyricspod@gmail.com. This one is submitted by someone named Isabel, and she submitted the song Fancy by Drake and Swizz Beatz, which is a song that is near and dear to my heart. This hit me at an age where it was exactly where it needed to find me. Isabel says, I remember where I was the first time I heard, you ain't needy, greedy, or easy as all these other breezies who fuck for bottles of Riesling and bowls of baked ziti. Isabel says, bowls of baked ziti? That's crazy. Whole song goes crazy, but this line in particular. Thanks, Izzy. I appreciate the formalities, Izzy. I appreciate you start giving us a beginning, middle, and end. I forgot that T.I. was even a part of this song. What a time in history where just to give y'all the context for the people who don't know about this is Drake's like first big proper album. He had So Far Gone, which was like a big mixtape. That was his like kind of big coming out party, the mixtape that had like the songs that people came to know him for. That had You the fucking best, you the fucking best. That had Best I Ever Had on it. And that mixtape made him like kind of the next big thing in rap. And then he put out Thank Me Later, which was like his big, like, I'm on a rap label and this is my moment. And so he has all the like hot rappers of the moment get on this because he's like the next big thing. And it is just funny to think about a time in 2010 where the next big thing is like, oh, you know who I need on this? T.I. I got to put T.I. on the record. That way people listen to it. And yeah, T.I. gets in and he said, you ain't needy, greedy, or easy as all these other breezes who fuck for bottles of Riesling and bowls of baked ziti. And it's like, I hear it. This feels like a thing where he's just like, I got to make some shit rhyme. I need to lift this one woman up and put a lot of other women down. And like, what's wrong with Riesling, T.I.? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? I've fucked for much less than all the stuff that these women are fucking for. I've fucked just because I'm alone. I fucked for that reason, and I've gotten no pasta in return. Not even a single, not a ziti, not a tortellini, not a spaghetti, not a rigatoni, not a meatball in sight. Just night passion and a Gatorade at the end, if I'm lucky. So it's like, hey, T.I., maybe before you put those women down, maybe realize that the stuff that you're offering is actually awesome. Maybe realize that it's incredible, and it's like, yeah, and those are good things to fuck for. So it's like, stop acting like that, T.I. You think you're better than us just because you know a lot of big words? You're not. And you think you're better than fucking for pasta? Well, maybe you are, but I'm not. I'll say that, and no disrespect. If you ever fuck for pasta, just know I'm not like T.I. I support you. If you fuck for pasta, I respect it. Many of us have fucked for much less than pasta. And wine, pasta and wine, you could get my cheeks tonight. I'm drenched just thinking about it. This next submission is from someone named Celestino, which is a name that I'm just learning about for the first time. I've known a Celeste. I've heard of a Tino, but I've never seen them get together, and shout out to that beautiful union. The song submitted by Celestino is called Pretty by Coco and Claire. Shout out to Coco and Claire, friends of the pod. I'm a personal fan. Letta girls. They brought wine. They're the only people to bring alcohol to the podcast, and if you're listening and you ever want to come on the pod, get me drunk. All right? Let's do it. Come on. Let's get lit. And the Coco and Claire lyric from Pretty, which is a song that I know and love personally, which is that the girls go, just like Michael Jackson, I'm a smooth criminal. And that's an ad-lib. It's just like off to the side. These girls are their ad-lib game is really, it's beautiful. It goes, just like Michael Jackson, I'm a smooth criminal. Hee hee. Just like Michael Jackson, I'm a moonwalking hoe. And yeah, Celestino says, I don't know why, but these lyrics are so catchy and so funny. And I would completely agree because we've all felt like that at certain points in our life, right? There's been times where we felt like smooth criminal. One time when I was in college, no, this is actually when I was in high school. My first real girlfriend, when we started dating, she was a smooth criminal. Or maybe she was not that smooth of a criminal because she went to Kohl's and she tried to steal some shit from the Kohl's and then she got busted and then she was on probation for the very beginning of our relationship. So this, if you're ever, if you're listening and you're like, I'm a smooth criminal, or you're listening and you're not a smooth criminal, just know that Coco and Claire make music for you. And also, my high school / college girlfriend, stop stealing. That's enough. Can I tell us? I'm gonna tell a story about that. I was gonna ask, can I tell a story like this? Is not my fucking show. Who am I asking? Um, can I tell? Yes, Devin, you can. So I dated this girl. She got caught stealing from Kohl's, and because of that, she was on probation when we got together. And so what she would have to do is she had a curfew, and she had a probation officer who could call her house on it, like her house phone at any given point in time. And if she wasn't at home when they called after curfew, she would have to go to jail. And so I remember we would go to the movies sometimes. We went to go see 500 Days of Summer as a unit, as a pair. We also went to go see Funny People and some with Adam Sandler. Remember that sad Judd Apatow movie? And there would be these moments where like sometimes if we went to the movie and it was like past time, she'd be like looking at her phone, being like, I gotta go. And we had to leave Funny People early. I didn't get to see the end of Funny People until like 6 years later. I just saw the beginning and it was attached to like a negative memory, so I didn't watch it again for a long time. So shout out to Coco and Claire. I love everything you guys are doing. That's all I got for that. Now let's check out a couple of voicemails. We got a voicemail from a fan in Boston. Let's hear what he got to say.
Hey to Devin and podcast guest and crew. This is Rahima from London, but from Boston. Anyway, I live in London, but I'm from Boston. So the song that lyric I wanted to refer to is from Kendrick Lamar's ADHD, Section 80. And it's this line where she says, you know why we crack babies? Because we born in the 80s, the ADHD crazy, right? And I said she because he's referring to someone at the party who's telling him this. And it's not that it's the best lyric in the world. It just makes me take pause and reflect on life. Because, like, wait a minute. I'm born in the 80s. I have ADHD. Like, was everybody just secretly doing, like, that hard shit, like, back then? Because, back then they didn't know what it was. They thought it was, like, weed. And, oh, have fun with their friends. But, like, is that what's wrong with all of us? Like, just every time I hear it, it makes me take pause. Okay, that's it. Bye.
Hey, Rahima, thank you for submitting that. That one was deeper than I thought it was going to be. This is I know this song very, very well. This is probably one of the first Kendrick Lamar songs I ever heard. And the song is basically, yeah, it's saying very similar to what she's saying. It's just like, is the things that are wrong with us, is it because we were born during the crack epidemic? Our listener, what she said is like, oh, were people smoking crack because they thought it was like weed? And I don't think that was the case. I do feel like people knew that crack was not good for you. I think it was probably just fun because it was crack. So they were like, give me a little bit more of that. And as somebody who was born in the 90s, but also has ADHD, it does beg the question, Mama, what was you up to? Was you having a good time? Was you? I'm not gonna ask my mom that because even if she was, she wouldn't tell me. But it's like, Kendrick yet again asking the hard hitting questions, and me again not wanting to know the hard hitting answers. Thank you, Rahima. I appreciate you. Let's get into the next one. Next up, we got a voicemail from a fan in South Carolina. Let's hear what they got to say.
Okay, so let me put you on to one of the best songs of all time. It's called Free Joe Exotic by BFB the Pac-Man. Okay. Okay, so there's so many crazy lyrics. It's so hard to even tell you about it. Here's one. referring to, he's having sex with a woman, right? And he's like, she says she can feel it in her stomach, stop capping. Old lying ass bitch, my dick ain't that big. I'm trying to figure out what lyric, hold on. Never mind.
Oh, he does it? He does it, that's it? Shout out to this homie who was so excited that it took him a long time to even say what the lyric was. He was, and I also love that he was so excited to talk about it, and then he goes, hold on, and then it just ends. He goes, hold on, and then nothing else comes after that. That's incredible. I can't believe this is the first time that BFB the Pac-Man has come up on here. He is hilarious. He's a big old boy from Michigan. I forget if he's from Detroit or from Flint, but BFB the Pac-Man is so funny. And the bar again, in case y'all didn't hear it, and this is the way he says it. He goes, she says she could feel it in her stomach. Stop capping. Oh, lying ass bitch, my dick ain't that big. And it's like, yeah. That's actually one of the more relatable things I've ever heard in a song, because it's just like, we've all felt like this in our lives before. We've all felt like, you ever been, men who are listening, you ever been intimate with somebody and then they're expressing in a way where it's just like, hey, I'm doing okay. I know what I'm bringing. I'm not doing all what you're doing. You're really, come on. I don't need a performance right now. Let's just be in the moment together. If you guys have ever acted, sometimes you got to drop into a scene. Sometimes you can't be acting like you're putting on a performance. We got to act like we're just two people here in the world. So it's like, BFP, I hear you. I think a lot of men who are listening to this right now hear me as well. And it's, yeah, you don't got to, all you got to do is be real in that moment. All you got to do is be real. What else does he say on this? BFP in this song also says, I'll jump off a bridge before I put my dick in plastic. I was so fucked up that I had to sell plasma. Well, I'm with you half the way here, BFP, Mr. Pac-Man. I'm here with you. Hey, man, I done sold some plasma in my life. I done been in San Marcos, Texas, selling plasma just for pizza money, and that's not a good way to live. Nothing feels good in the plasma selling center. That's how you know you in a real bad situation. I was working at a grocery store. They was paying okay, you know what I'm saying? But we needed a little bit extra, and so I remember my homegirl who I worked with being like, hey, let's go to the plasma center. We'll get some extra cash. And then I went in there, and they were playing like Catch Me If You Can on the TV, and it was just, we couldn't change the channel. That's just what was on. Pretty good movie, but I was also just like, man, I'm sitting in here with people who I don't know they should be able. I was seeing the other people who were donating plasma, and I was like, man, if you get plasma, I hope you're getting my plasma and not that guy over theirs. That's what it feels like to be in the plasma center. Have you ever been, like, in New York City, it's a little bit different, but have you ever ridden a bus in a city that's not really like a bus city? Have you ever been in like Houston and taken the bus to like Dallas, and you look and you're just like, oh man, like y'all people riding the bus are not the type of people that are on planes. I know that. I've been on a plane, and the type of people that's on this Greyhound is different than the type of people that's normally on a JetBlue flight or a Delta flight. There's a whole different situation. That's the type of people who are selling plasma. I know because I've done that personally. I've seen a lot of these podcasts you're listening to, they ain't never sold no plasma. A lot of people, you be like, oh, Devon's on TV. Yeah, I've been on TV, but I've also been in the plasma center. I also been in the plasma center watching Catch Me If You Can, trying to get $60. So BFP, I'm with you on that point. He's talking about he'll jump off a bridge before he'll put his dick in plastic. BFP, wrap that thing up. I'm scared for you, dog. Wrap that thing up. I want to see you live a long life, BFP. Thank you to our listener from South Carolina. Next up, we've got a voicemail from Bailey. This is incredible. I know what this is about. I'm seeing what this is about to be about, and I can't wait to hear the voicemail. Let's see what's up.
Hi, Devon and co. My name is Bailey. I live in Atlanta.
Hell yeah.
Let's talk about MTV's hip opera.
Yes.
Carmen, a hip opera based on the opera Carmen, the very, very famous opera Carmen, from 2001. Not sure if you've seen it. It stars Beyonce and Mos Def and who else is in there? Wyclef Jean is in there. Jermaine Dupri, Lil Bow Wow are in there.
Whoa.
Really, really can't emphasize how crazy it is. I was trying to look at some of the writing credits, and the research is too deep. You could probably do a whole episode on this, but I do want to just shout out this one particular song. It's the one where Beyonce's character Carmen is getting introduced, and all eyes in the bar turn towards her. Your game is whack, and you will not get your quarter back. See, this is Carmen, curves like a cul-de-sac.
Woo!
Skin coffee and cream, your donuts, you ain't dunking that. But the real stunner that is like, I think about this line like a lot. Drumroll, please. Slicker than a porpoise, sicker than a horse is. Say that again. Slicker than a porpoise, sicker than a horse is. This is 2001 Beyonce. I mean, to her credit, she's been country.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I remember this existing. I was a little kid when Carmen the Hip Hopper came out, but I definitely do remember watching it. And for those of y'all who are not familiar with Carmen the Hip Hopper, it was an MTV made for TV movie starring Beyonce as the titular Carmen. And the entire thing was sung. If I remember correctly, it's been a very long time. This came out like 25 years ago. If I remember correctly, there are no spoken lyrics. Every single bar, every single thing that you hear is either rapped or sung in this entire thing. But they were just like, oh, what if we put black people in it? And I really respect the swing. I do enjoy when they do stuff like this. It's so silly. Also, I'm sorry to say this, and I'm really scared to say this on Wax, but like, I think this was, I think we've learned this, but we got to stop putting Beyonce in movies and TV shows. One of the generational talent, one of the great artists of our time. I've seen her twice live. Legitimately the best concerts I've ever been to in my entire life. I've never seen anything as good as what Beyonce does as a stage performer. We don't need to see her on screen. We don't need her on TV. We don't need to see her in movies. I love her, but not in that way. I'll say that. Just to go back to these bars, just in case y'all missed it, because these are really special to me. They had Beyonce say, see, this is Carmen, curves like a cul-de-sac, skin coffee and cream, your donuts, you ain't dunking that. Come on. They got a Dunkin' Donuts pun. They got Beyonce to say a Dunkin' Donuts pun. That's how you know she was in a different stage of her career. We haven't heard Beyonce even say anything that's not musical in at least 17 years. This might have been the last thing that we ever saw her, was she was being like a little bit silly. That, and then when she did that Austin Powers movie. And then that second line, if I remember correctly, was slicker than a porpoise and thicker than a horse is. See, that's how you know we've kind of lost our way in media, because it's like we couldn't get Beyonce to say stuff like this. Now, I don't know if you could get anyone to say stuff like this. I'm saying it right now, and I feel real silly. I feel very silly saying slicker than a porpoise. But shout out, the porpoise has not gotten a lot of representation. This might have been the last time anybody mentioned a porpoise on Wax. I feel like seals, dolphins, they're getting mentioned as slick things. A porpoise, you're not talking about that much. Thicker than a horse is, I feel like that's Megan Thee Stallion acknowledgement. Shout out to But what a silly ass bar. And also curves like a cul-de-sac. We need to get down to the bottom of who wrote this. I don't have enough it looks like it was written by a man named Michael Elliott. I need to get down to the bottom of what that guy had going on, and I need to see where his life has gone since writing this stuff, because personally I'd like to have a conversation with him and just see where his head was at. Cuz curves like a cul-de-sac is something that you could kind of see like early stage, like Donald Glover saying. That's like before he became like a capital A artiste and he was like talking about how much he loved like Asian women. You could absolutely hear him saying like, see, this is childish Gambino. Her curves soft like a cul-de-sac. curving like a cul-de-sac, curving like a cul-de-sac. That's the type of stuff I could have heard Donald saying in like 2011. And so, hey, Michael Elliott, who wrote this, thank you so much for giving us this. We need more ridiculousness like this. He wrote Like Mike as well. I'm now learning that he wrote Like Mike as well. So his shit was kind of booming in the early aughts. He was actually kind of they were really going to him for a lot of things. And Like Mike, as a kid who was around when Lil Bow Wow was popping off, thank you. Thank you, Mike Elliott, because you actually shaped some pretty important things from my childhood. But I don't know if I'll ever forgive you for Slicker Than a Porpoise and Thicker Than a Horse Is. That's one of the worst things I've ever heard in my life. I love you, though. All right. Next voicemail we've got from a listener named Christy.
Hey, I'm Christy. I just want to say I love the show. It's so good. This is like one of my favorite topics. Also, I accidentally called twice before I was ready. I promise I'm not crazy. But I did want to talk a little shit because I'm so surprised that there is still no episode with Young Dro. Like, he got some of the best bars there are, to be honest. And one of the ones that I wanted to mention was obviously one of the best ones from Rubber Band Banks, where he says, mathematically with a pistol, I do trigonometry. Like, come on. What are we talking about? Your guests need to be bringing up more Young Joe lyrics. All right, bye.
Yo, shout out Christy. I don't know where she lives or where her deal is, but I like her. I appreciate Christy. I could tell we would get along. Young Dro, I feel like if you're from Atlanta or just like from the South from a certain time period, I feel like Young Dro really stuck with you. I remember when Shoulder Lean dropped. I remember this like period. This is also like really like the poloed out period of like rap music where like guys were kind of dressed like they were going to the country club, but they like had pistols on them. And that's what Young Dro was like bringing to the game. And yeah, he loved talking about space stuff. That was a big thing about Young Dro that I remember. And just the bar on Rubber Band Banks that Christy's talking about, before that, he goes, I'm an outer space baller. I put you up on astronomy. Mathematically with a pistol, I'll be doing trigonometry. Which, hey, as you can tell by my whole vibe, I ain't never shot nobody. But I do like envisioning this because I will say that sometimes people don't think that like dudes who be in the streets like are smart, but like one of the smartest dudes that I know is this guy that I play football with who like was like a kind of poppin' drug dealer who also like was better at calculus than me. I remember being in calculus class and I remember like, I don't know what's going on. And he was like, damn, you not that smart. Let me show you how to do this equation. And I feel like that's the type of dude that Young Dro was. And I like to imagine that he's like Beautiful Mind styling when he's like about to shoot somebody. He's got the pistol out and he's thinking about like the square root of like the distance between him and the person that he needs to shoot. Or maybe he's trying to ricochet that shit. Maybe he's trying to do a bank shot like in basketball, or it's like you hit it off the backboard and then it goes into the basket. I like to imagine he's doing that, but with shooting a man. Or he's like, okay, I'm gonna aim over here. I'm gonna hit the side of this truck, and then after that, it's gonna hit this man. I like to imagine that's what he's up to. Shout out to Young Dro. And shout out to Christy. Thank you for submitting this. I appreciate it. Anyway, that's all we got time for today. Thank you guys so much. Keep submitting stuff. You can email us at myfavouritelyricspod@gmail.com. You can hit us in the DMs on Instagram, or just go ahead and give us a call. 332-203-6429. Love you, baby. Why am I doing that? Why do I keep doing love ya, baby? I've never been like that before. Every time I get on the mic, I say a thing that I've never said before, and I'm like, who am I becoming? My Favorite Lyrics is a production by Disco Nap. If you guys like what you hear, leave a review and tell a homie about the show. And make sure to follow us at My Favorite Lyrics Pod on all social platforms, except for Twitter. We offer that. You can learn more about the My Favorite Lyrics team by checking out the show notes. And thank you to the guys that made this show happen. Our executive producer, Lauren Mandel. Our associate producer, Carmen Kerrigan. We'll catch y'all next week.